Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fin Factor. This is the live edition post-game for round 2, game number 4. San Jose Sharks fall to the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 3-0. One of those was an empty netter, but yeah, you're not going to win any games when you put up the goose egg.
No, they had their chances and they couldn't quite finish. Nyquist had that one right before the end of the second.
Yep.
They would have got them right back in the game.
Yep.
He had that 5-hole wide open. Man, he put a good move on Grubauer and just couldn't finish. So that's unfortunate. And I almost feel like that's Nyquist's MO this playoffs. He's playing well. He's getting his chances. He's just not finishing. Kind of like Timo Meier earlier in the season.
Yeah.
He was getting plenty of chances and just couldn't finish. Evander Kane went through the same thing. So hopefully he catches fire and starts bearing those chances.
Yeah, even Erik Karlsson for a while there, he was getting lots of opportunities, lots of chances, but he just wasn't able to put the puck away. There was also a kind of a controversial non-call, the trip on Erik Karlsson going across the red line maybe there, and it would have put us on a 5-on-3. Instead, it goes 4-on-4. Them's the breaks, right? Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't. I just wish it would be a little bit more consistent. But that is what it is. So.
That one bugs me because I forgot who it was that tripped
Calvert.
Calvert.
Mm-hmm.
Calvert looked at the ref like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like I knew I just messed up. Like that was a bad penalty.
Yeah.
And even Karlsson turned around and like, hello, like somebody, and they didn't call it. So that was frustrating. It's almost like the refs didn't want to give the Sharks a 5-on-3, and that would have been a long 5-on-3 too.
Yeah.
So that's just bad. That was a bad call. But
yeah, it's bad luck.
You can't dwell on that.
Yeah.
The Sharks they've been terrible on the power play as it is. They probably would have, what I said in the comments, they would have pass, and then lose the puck anyway. So that 5-on-3 would go for naught.
Definitely not a lot of puck control tonight. Christopher Lindsay, thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
$5. I got that
Chris.
Canadian
Thank
$5, I believe. Already tired of playing against Colorado. McKinnon refs, missed calls, and broadcast thinks McKinnon is the only player on the ice. #FreeHan.
Well, McKinnon is the only player practically doing anything for the Avs. And as we've said in the preview of the series and the last couple games, you control McKinnon, you control his line, you control the game. Most likely Colorado's not going to win the game if you can shut that line down.
Yeah. And again, for me, one of my whole keys to the series here was, pound those defensemen, those young defensemen, get in their face, get them in the boards, make them rush to make a play as opposed to giving them all the time in the world. And that was something that the Sharks did not do again tonight, and it bit them, which is unfortunate. But we saw the goal not the goal, but the breakaway that Girard had. He just basically, Burns turned the opposite direction. Girard just said, okay, fine, I'll take it right up the gut. So, you really need to make those guys uncomfortable. Don't give them the opportunity to feel comfortable and to make those plays. So, is this really right now? Okay.
No.
Don't let those guys get comfortable with it. So I would just like to see a lot more pressure on their young defensemen out there, get in their faces, make them, have a turnover here and there, instead of allowing them to skate right up the gut. For a young defenseman, giving him a lane like that, of course he's going to take it. He's going to feel pretty confident in doing so.
Yeah. There's a comment here from Nicholas Egan saying, Burns missed 2 opportunities to clear the puck on that second goal. I was pointing that out as well. Burns just seemed a little bit off tonight.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good game. He missed those 2 chances. One of them, they're on the penalty kill, and it's like he tried to flip the puck up to make a play instead of just dumping it and getting it out. And when you're, especially in the second, I think it was the second period, or no, it was the third period. Well, you got to get that puck out, especially on the penalty kill. You're gonna miss if you miss that, and they get to keep that in. That's another sustained pressure in your own zone that you're going to get tired, and especially in that altitude.
Right.
And it's the second game. It's just
Second game, third period.
Second game, third period. The legs are heavier. The lungs are not as much oxygen there. They're burning a little bit more. Just those little things add up. And the Sharks looked flat-footed, a little tired. Even when they had the puck and sustained pressure on that power play at the end, we were talking about it here, or not even the power play. That was when Jones was pulled. Nobody's moving their feet.
Yeah.
They have the puck, and they're sitting there with it on their stick, and they're waiting for someone to do something. Nobody's moving. Even the puck carrier's not moving. And the Avs are blocking shots because of it, because they're not getting those lanes open. So they need to get back to the basics of moving their feet, getting their skates moving, and not being so heavy.
Yeah, they had said that they had 8 block shots in the first two periods for the Colorado Avalanche, and then in the third they had 12. And yeah, at the end there, it's just a shooting gallery. But again, if no one's moving and we're not creating any shooting lanes, yeah, Colorado's basically laying in. There was one block shot that the commentators had said, look, there's 3 Avalanche layered in a row. It's like when you got 3 guys in a row like that. I mean, actually, if you take a look at it, instead of Carlson firing the one-timer there, he actually could have done like a catch and release and pass it off to Burns, because Burns was in the Ovechkin slot by himself, because Colorado had stacked up right in front of Erik Karlsson there. So some opportunities, some things to take a look at for the tape for the next game and just be better. So hopefully, coming back to San Jose, we could see a little bit better of an effort from the boys.
Right.
I don't know what the status on Pavelski is just yet. I know he's back and he's skating.
That's good news.
Which is good, but I really would not want him to come back before he's actually ready to come back. So we'll see what that brings. But I don't like seeing Radil on that. Was it Hurdle line? He's playing with Hurdle right now. People have asked about that before, and our depth is being tested. But I'd rather see Radil on the energy line.
He's a Czech guy.
Yeah, and that's why he's playing with Hurdle, is because of the language. But I would rather see Radil playing with the energy line and anybody else, up with, in the top 9. But obviously, with Pavelski being out and Donskoy being out, our options are a little bit limited. So at the moment, Radil is the guy. But watching him play, I wasn't overly impressed. So.
Comment from Nicholas Egan. Paul, you said that Game 4 is the most important of the series. Sharks have now played 2 Game 4s and have scored 0 goals in those games. Thoughts?
Yeah. No, so it's not so much the team's performance in a Game 4. It's the series outcome after a Game 4, right? So, tonight's a perfect example, right? You can either go up 3-1 and take a stranglehold on that series, which obviously didn't work out too well for the Vegas Golden Knights, or the series gets tied up, right? So now let's go back to something else that I had said, though, and thank you for bringing that point up. The other thing that I had said was, I feel like after Game 2 was done, that the Sharks weren't tied in the series, that the Sharks were actually a game behind, or a little bit behind, I should say. And the reason is I felt the home team should be winning their home games, right? When we stole the first game in Colorado, Game 3, I wasn't getting too high on it because I was saying, okay, I'm expecting Colorado to take at least 1. The expectation is that they take 2, but we stole 1. So right now, the way I'm feeling is we're kind of even. This is after Game 3. Game 4 comes and goes. We've lost that one. We actually are even now, so now it actually is a best of 3. So that's kind of my whole feeling on it. And yes, you're absolutely right. I'm right, I would say, in terms of Game 4. To me, it's the most pivotal. It is. Think about that. Either you win the series or you lose the series in a sweep.
Right.
You go up 3-1 or you're down 3-1, in which case it's dire, right? Or you even up, right? To me, that's the most pivotal game in the entire series.
John Doe, $4.99. Thank you, John. Tough loss tonight, but the Avs look better and deserve to win tonight. Yeah. At least it's a best of 3 now with 2 in San Jose.
There you go.
Exactly your point right there. Do you think? All right.
John Doe was that?
Yeah, John Doe.
John Doe's the one that lives near the Wiener Schnitzel, right?
Yep.
Okay, if you need to sit in for me because you have the same mind, clearly, just let Aaron know. We can get you in on the show.
What was I going to say? Do you think the Sharks can beat the Avs twice in 3 games?
Yes.
I don't think the Avs can beat the Sharks twice in 3 games.
Really?
I just don't.
Okay.
With 2 in San Jose. Yeah, have you seen their record in San Jose? It's horrendous.
I know they have 1 win.
1. In the last decade, they only have 3, and that's including the 1. So it's not very good.
Okay.
They do not play well in San Jose.
I would say the Sharks can beat the Avs in 2 games. I would also say the Avs can win, but it's because the Sharks play like they do tonight.
But I think because they're not going to be in Denver,
right?
They're not going to be Mile High.
Yeah.
They're going to be better. I think the Sharks will get their legs back. In fact, I think they're they weren't pushing as hard as they were in Game 3. They weren't playing as hard. Not to say that they're sitting back, but they had their chances. In fact, someone had commented about it. I'm not going to find it, but we saw it later in the game. Karlsson had that shot that LeBanc was just in front of the net, and he stopped it with his stick. Not on purpose. He was just there, and it happened to hit him. Just absolute dumb luck. Poor Karlsson not getting on the board, and he cannot score to save his life. his own teammates blocking shots with their sticks in the air in front of the goal. So it's just unfortunate. So that would have made it 2-1. That would have cut the lead in half late in the game, and it just didn't happen. So just, we talked about this before. For a long run in the playoffs, to win a Stanley Cup, you need health, you need luck, and you need hard work. And tonight the Sharks had no luck, and they didn't really have a lot of hard work.
They did have some luck because there was a couple times where Jones came across, and it was like he's on Teflon, ice with Teflon and oiled up, and because he was like completely out of the crease.
Yeah.
With an empty net, and the guy, just our sticks were fantastic at that point, knocking it away. It seemed like there was a couple of those where it was like, oh, here comes another one. Nope, the guy missed it. Okay, I'll take it. But we couldn't get that luck on the offensive side, at least.
Yeah, I think there was a lack of zone time for the San Jose Sharks, offensive zone time. We had plenty of defensive zone time. The stats may say otherwise, but the general feeling was that we weren't controlling the play at all. We weren't controlling the pace. Colorado was taking it to us. And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with elevation, fatigue, all those things that we've already talked about. But at some point, you need to do the best job that you can of possessing the puck and controlling the play. And I thought they did a decent job in front of Jones. I think Jones played better than his defense maybe played in front of him, although Marc-Eduard Vlasic several times on TV, and I'm sure on radio if you were listening, he was called out as having a phenomenal stick. He was getting a stick in the lanes. He was breaking up plays. There were a lot of opportunities that could have been that Marc-Eduard Vlasic was breaking up tonight. So hats off to him. It's just too bad that nothing happened offensively. So again, coming back to San Jose, get that home behind him again. Maybe we see Donskoy or maybe we see Pavelski back in the fold. We'll just have to see.
Yep. Thank you, Edgar. I'm going to say Velos. I don't know if that's right. $5. Anaheim checking in. Go Sharks. Is the beating from Vegas series starting to kick in, or is it just me? I think it is. I think it has been this whole series, and I think the Sharks got a little bit luckier in Game 3 with Butcher's goal right after they had tied it up. So, again, luck playing a little part in there. So luck is in his skill. He really had a dirty goal in that third period, but lucky that they kept the puck in. Essentially, that play happened. That's more of the luck part than the actual goal.
Yeah.
I think yes, they're tired and they're gassed, and we said before going into Denver is going to be tough with that. Coming off of that hard series against Vegas, that heavy series. Not that Colorado's a heavy team and they're not getting as beat up as they were if it was Calgary in this round. It's still taking their toll, and they got beat up from it. Some of the players just don't look healthy. Like Kane hasn't looked the same.
Yeah, for me, it's they took a beating in that Vegas series and they came out on top, and that's all well and good. And one of the things that I said was you're not going to take a team like Colorado, so logically your body should be getting less bruised, less banged up, healthier. The only problem is that you're trying to recover from all your bumps and bruises while playing against a team who's known for being ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep up with those guys while you're recovering. So I think they're actually now. I feel like they were feeling it earlier in the series. Maybe they're not feeling it as so much anymore in terms of those bumps and bruises, right? But I think they're just still recovering. I feel like they're getting better, especially Erik Karlsson. We've seen Erik Karlsson in this series look phenomenal, much, much better.
Oh, he's almost 100%.
Yeah, although I will say today I saw a few times where it looked like he just kind of got a little lazy. There was the right-hand boards.
Probably tired.
Yeah, maybe he's tired. But what I'm saying is I think he poked out a puck, and then somebody basically did the, what's it you call it, nutmeg?
Yeah.
Yeah, he put the puck between his legs, and he kind of almost stopped it, and then he just kind of started gliding, and he wasn't really attempting to look for it. There was no urgency in his game. And I've always complimented Erik Karlsson on how calm, cool, and smooth it is. But if you're not sure where the puck is, or if you do know where the puck is and it's past you, I would expect some urgency there. So I would just like to see a little bit more out of him in terms of, buy-in, I guess, the effort there, especially on the defensive side. Offensively, I think he's great. He's been moving the puck in the zone. He's been holding that and walking that blue line, getting shots in. Although I would like to see something of the spectacular from Erik Karlsson, and I know he's capable. We've all seen the highlight reels of him. and the things that he can do. And I'd love to see him pull something off.
Real
Joe?
quick, John Doe, 199. Thank you very much. Jones had a great save with 2:34 left in the second.
Yeah.
2:34 left in the second.
That was the pad, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
So
he's on McKinnon.
yeah, left pad.
The puck, I think, went wide and it bounced off the boards. It came right to McKinnon, who was on that post. And Jones just got his pad out there.
Nice.
It was unbelievable save. This game could have been out of hand. Jones has been playing stellar.
Like I said, well, and so on that real quick, obviously Grubauer gets the 1,000, sure, but Martin Jones recorded another 926 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's probably going to get you that most of the time if
He's
he can.
keeping them in the game.
Yeah.
That kept him in the. I mean, at that
Yeah.
point it was 1-0. Would have been 2. He
Yeah.
just scored right before that.
Well,
Yeah,
and
he
remember, you can't win a game by putting up 0 goals.
Right.
So he needs the support. Yeah, I mean, if the Sharks put up a goal, right? Butterfly effect. Maybe that affects their ability to score that second goal that they got, right? I mean,
Mark-
if we score a goal, then whatever sequence of events happen to get them
Yeah.
that second goal doesn't occur. It has to go a different way. So
Martin
who knows?
Jones is back. We're not Martin Jones. His play has been
think-
fantastic.
For us, I don't know that we ever really were worried
No,
about
but I
Martin
mean
Jones, but
in general,
yes.
I don't think there hasn't been much chatter about Aaron Dell starting.
Oh, okay,
Right?
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well,
Since
he hasn't
game-
got pulled.
It's game 3 of the first round.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something real quick. There's a lot of chatter in here about the refs blowing the game and that they want the series to go 7 games. No, they don't. Refs are human. They make mistakes. They have no skin in the game. If they did, they wouldn't be referees, and the NHL wouldn't allow it. Especially with a lot of betting going on, and now that betting is legal for NHL games, it's not going to happen. So, no conspiracy theories here. Refs have a bad game, and they get graded for these, just like the referees in Game 7. They got graded, and they got in trouble for that call for the 5-minute boarding or major.
The cross check.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about
It's okay.
last night's EA SHL.
We'll talk about that too.
Anyway, they get in trouble and they are held accountable. So don't be surprised if these refs get held accountable. I mean, we won't hear about it in the news unless it's really bad and they're not doing any games the next thing. But the refs do not get paid by any of the teams. They do not have any skin in the game whatsoever. They don't care about the outcome. They just try and make a good, clean game.
I will say this, and obviously it's different for a professional referee whose job it is to see these things. But as a spectator of the sport, when I'm on the glass, sometimes it's much more difficult to see exactly what's going on, and I have to check the Jumbotron, right? I'm used to seeing it on TV because I don't get to go to a ton of games. In fact, most of the seating I really do enjoy are the ones that are kind of like in the back of the first the lower tier, I guess, or at that second tier, so I can see everything that's going on. The referees don't have that vantage point, right? And they have to see everything in real time, and they only get to see it once. We have the benefit of being able to go through our DVRs and go backwards, forwards, slow motion. They show us replays on it anyway, and they give us their commentaries, and it's really easy to pick it apart, after the fact.
Yeah.
But in the moment and in the game, it's got to be difficult to make these calls. But when the puck carrier is skating by himself and an opposing player gets his stick in his skates, and it's very clearly in his skates, and there's not like a scrum of anybody blocking your vision, and again, it's the puck carrier, so you're watching where the puck's going to. That to me is just a horribly blatantly missed call. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but I would have liked to seen those types of calls made on the ice for both sides, right? And the same thing with the cross check where there's nobody in front of the net, and Logan Couture. I'm sorry, there was one guy in front of the net, and it was Logan Couture.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the referees had a good game. I'm saying they were terrible. They were terrible. Yeah. But you can't blame the loss on the referees.
No,
That's
I'm not
my
saying
point.
I'm not saying we're blaming a loss on referees, and you guys really shouldn't either. But what I am saying is I'd like there to be a little bit more consistency. I understand putting the whistle away during the playoffs and letting the boys play, but when Logan's standing in front of the net, the play is off on like the blue line, and he just gets cross-checked to the ice. Mm-hmm. Again, cross-check penalties like that, I don't know why they're not called. You can either call it interference, you can call it roughing, you can call it cross-check, you can call it whatever you like, but we should be calling that.
I heard somewhere the other day somebody was like, "Oh, that was a clean cross-check," and I'm like, "What?
A clean what?
A clean what?"
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, Manny Marquez, thank you very much. $4.99. Sharks will come back with experience, possibly 6 to close out the series as long as they can break down the young players physically, wear out the wear and tear boys.
See, I think I think what the Sharks have an advantage over the Colorado Avalanche is their experience. They don't get too high on the highs and low on the lows, right? They put this game behind them and they move on to the next one.
Sounds like us.
So yeah, exactly. Think about it this way. How would you feel if the Sharks lost Game 3 and won Game 4?
I'd think, oh sweet, they split away.
You'd be happy that they tied it 2-2. It's the same situation. Same outcome.
Yeah.
Just a different way of getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And emotionally, you'd be like, all right, the Sharks won. We're going to go into Game 5 and take it, right? Because now we have momentum. Momentum does not carry over game to game like that. It may be carryover for the very first shift at most.
Right.
And that's it. At that point, it's a new game. It starts fresh. And this is what the Sharks do the best out of, I think, most of the teams or any of the teams left in the playoffs.
See, and this is why after Game 3, I wasn't going, yeah, we're up 2-1. It's because I'm expecting that Colorado's going to come back and win this Game 4. I'm expecting that. Hey, if they didn't win Game 4, if the Sharks pulled it off, yeah, I'm jumping through the roof right now, up 3-1, and we got 3 games that they have to win straight. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Who does that?
But after, yeah, exactly. But I mean, after game 3, I'm like, okay, we're up 2-1. I still feel like we're even because my expectation is that we're going to come out of this even going into Game 5. So I know Joe's waving over here. Would you really want to say something?
I do, because Aaron was bringing up like the next shift, this and that, right?
Yeah.
Back in the chat a little bit, Laura Munoz said the coach needs to limit their minutes. Are you guys not going to call out Peter Ward at all? I was looking at the minutes here, and they were, so you got 2 guys in Carlson and Burns who are playing both power play and penalty kill, and there was a lot of penalty kill, right? But they're the ones who are recording almost 30 minutes along with Vlasic. For the most part, you got Haley with 9 minutes. You got even Ryan got 7 minutes tonight. Like, they're pretty spread out. If you look at Colorado's side, it's like single digits, and then McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen all had 22 plus. Soderberg. I mean, you had a couple guys who take up the bulk of the minutes over there.
Yeah.
Who are mostly on the power play as well, so they got the time on ice for both power play and regular time on ice.
Do you remember the last game we talked about the ice time?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it a lot. I said I bet the ice time's going to get spread out a little more. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Joakim Ryan get more like 7 minutes instead of less than 5.
4, yeah.
And, that pulls away 2-3 minutes away, a little bit less from those big guys, and that's exactly what happened. He had 7 minutes. Haley, 9 minutes. Up from the 6 or 7 that he had, right? Sorensen, almost 12 or 11 minutes. Radiel, a little over 10 minutes. So the ice time is getting spread out a little bit more to take away from those guys. So yeah, they're still relying on those big guns. Like Carlson had 25 minutes, Burns had 28 minutes.
Right. And
Vlasic had 22. That's going to be about normal.
I think when we see one of those big mistakes, it's from the same guy. So they're like, "Why are they resting this guy?"
Well, and
at least that's my opinion.
We did bring this up last time around when Burns had 28 minutes. And I'm going, why aren't we giving Burns a bit of a rest? Why are we even playing Burns on the PK? Right? If we've got other defensemen that can step in, I know you were saying that one time that because Braun was in there, right? But I mean, we've played him on the PK plenty before, and I just don't understand it. It's not like I think that Burns is a terrible person to play on the PK, which your opinion may vary. That's fine. But I just don't understand why we put him there when you're already playing him a ridiculous amount of minutes. Why not limit his time where he's just killing penalties? You still play him out there, but maybe not give him so much time on the PK. And I think it was Laura was the one who made the comment?
Yeah.
Laura, why the hate? Like, are you guys not going to call out Pete DeBoer? No, we've called out Pete DeBoer. We said, some of this is on the coaching staff.
Right. Well, that was last game
when Burns was playing
specifically.
a minute and a half of the PK, comes off, and then he goes back on for the last 8 seconds of the PK. It's like, well, why? Why don't you give him a break? Give him a little bit of a break here, right? So absolutely, we've called him out before. I don't know if this is your first time watching the show. Cool. If you're not a first time viewer, maybe these are pretty long live streams sometimes, so it's hard to catch everything.
I get that. I phase in and out most of the time.
Yeah, me too. And I'm sitting here doing it. So, but no, yeah, absolutely. We hold Pete DeBoer a little bit accountable for the minutes because he's the one pushing them out there too.
Pete DeBoer is a professional. We are not.
Fair enough.
I've never coached hockey before.
What?
At any level. I know, right? Surprising. Other than video game hockey, which
I don't want to hear it, Aaron.
counts,
You're
right?
terrible.
Anyway, my point being, the Sharks are not going to sweep. They're not going to win every single game. They're going to lose some. I think the Sharks' kind of mindset was, we're going to going into the 2-game series in Denver. We got to win one of these.
Yeah.
Right. They won the second game, which was tonight. They go, okay, They hung in the game until the last 2 minutes, until that empty netter. Right. They still could have had a chance. So they kind of were like, okay, let's try and get in there. They had bad puck luck on a few of those. They should have scored. They didn't. So to me, it's not that it's a throwaway game, but you kind of had a game to play with because you were up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah.
So you're happy that you won Game 3, and then Game 4 you kind of scale it back just a little bit, and you're getting those other guys like Joachim Ryan and the fourth line guys a little bit more minutes to kind of rest them a little bit. Then you're going to come back and hammer them hard. You're not going to win every single game. They're not playing to win every. Not that they're not trying to win, but they're not going all out every single game like they're going to lose the series, right? It's not a what do you call it? Elimination game, right?
Yeah.
So it's fine. They lost tonight. They're going to move on.
Well, and one of the things that they had said on TV at least was that the guys had I don't know if it was Pete DeBoer had said, but the guys had basically said that they wanted to take shorter shifts. They're going to take 40-second shifts max, right? So that was one of the things that they were trying to do to keep their lungs going in an area that's Colorado where the air's thinner up there. So the boys knew what they were doing. They were trying their best to take shorter shifts, keep their lungs and their legs as upbeat and healthy as possible, and be ready to go when they do have to jump out on the ice. But again, they come off of this big grueling series, and it's taken a toll on them. And I think their bodies are recovering. But again, you got to play against a team that's really fast in Colorado. So, again, like Aaron said, we're not going to win every single game, and that's okay. And again, I kind of felt like Colorado's got to win one. Imagine it the other way around. What if we start in Colorado, we split? Hey, we're feeling pretty good. Then Colorado wins in San Jose. Don't you think, as a San Jose Sharks fan, you're going, we better win Game 4, right?
Right.
I mean, that's kind of the expectation. We better, Sharks better win a game at home.
I mean, it's almost a semi-elimination game for Colorado. They're more desperate than the Sharks were.
And that's, again, why I feel that Game 4 is just the most pivotal game, because you went from basically forcing elimination in Game 5 to making it a best of 3.
I think Colorado's more nervous about this 3-game series where 2 are on the road than the Sharks are.
Yeah, but that could be a good thing too. That's why you don't want to you don't want to just go lackadaisical into something. And it's not saying they would, but you want to be the hungrier team. I want to go back to a comment from Mr. Sandpaper. Dude, how exciting was it in the third when DeBoer put EK65 and Burns on the same D line? Not very in my mind. I would have loved to have seen it. Both of them were like fully rested and playing at 100%. But
he's trying to kickstart the offense.
Yeah.
Right. He can do that. I mean, think about that. You have 2 Norris Trophy winning defensemen on the same pairing to get your team going, to get the scoring going. It's filthy. It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I think it's great. It didn't work. Nothing worked tonight.
Nothing worked.
He was trying. He didn't stick to the same plan, same pairings, whatever. He mixed up the line. I like when he puts it in the blender that gets the guys going.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. I mean, it's nice that you have the weapons to put together. For me, I like the ability to go with Burns, Vlasic and then going to Erik Karlsson and Dylan or whatever, just as like a 1-2 punch. You put that one line out, you put the other line out, and just go back and forth. And one of those lines is going to have to deal with it, and it's probably not going to be able to. So when you keep pushing those guys back and forth on the ice, you're expecting something good's going to happen. But when you put Burns and Karlsson on the ice together, again, once you change that line, much like I was just talking about in the previous live, when the McKinnon line gets off the ice, you don't really have a second line that's like star power at all, right? Like Matt Nieto is like one of your better guys at that point.
You have 4 or 5 now.
So with Erik Karlsson and Brent Burns playing on the same line, when they do take a shift, then you've got you can throw Vlasic and Braun out there, and that's good for the shutdown. And then maybe you go back to rotating, one of either Karlsson or Burns out there. But it kind of like it limits your offense for that shift, right?
Yeah.
So. I mean, I like it, but on the same token, I kind of don't.
All right, real quick, let's get the roll call going. Where are you watching from, and how did you find us? And then I want to highlight this comment from Ben and Gunstreet, because we kind of think alike with this comment.
Okay.
If we lost, which we did, I'm glad we got shut out. That should wake the boys up a bit, keep reminding themselves that they need to work their tail off on both ends, earn every inch of the ice. I agree with that. If they lose, I don't care if it's 7-0. It's better to me. It's like a 7-0 or a blowout is better than a 1-0 or a 2-1, because then the Sharks are going, okay, everything we did was fine. Let's just keep doing that. Where if they get blown out, it's like, okay, let's go to the drawing board.
They're going to
let's
spend a
work
lot
our
of time
butts off
watching
a little
tape
bit more and get back to our game. I think I agree completely. Like this is a good kick in the rear for them to get back to their game and work harder.
Yeah.
They realize that they need to work hard.
So speaking of that shutout, that was Grubauer's first playoff career shutout. So, congrats to him. Another first against the Sharks. But Nicholas Egan brings up the point. Grubauer's 9th straight start, most of his career. Do you guys think that that fatigue will fatigue set in for him not usually taking this kind of work?
We can hope for that, but I don't.
I'd rather see the Sharks just become more lethal.
If they had any doubts about this goaltender, he wouldn't be the one that's starting in there. Right? If they were worried about his fatigue levels, he probably wouldn't be the guy that they go to.
I was going to say, is Varlamov in the backup? Or
Varlamov has had a history of injuries, too. So and he got outplayed by Grubauer this year. They both came from Washington. Mm-hmm. They both came up through that system, so they know each other for a long time back. All right, let's do the roll call here. Beaver Sean, downtown San Jose. John Doe, Brandon and Pearl. Jigsaw Humperfish, Vancouver, British Columbia, and found you on YouTube recommendations. Mike Steve, Walmart, Sacramento, watching live on the mobile. Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Manny Marquez, Santa Ana, California, repping the Sharks in OC territory. Nathaniel Arias, Denver, Colorado, stumbled across your channel the night San Jose won Game 7 over Vegas. That's our Avs fan.
That's a good one.
Bone Thug, 408. This is Mr. Shark 408.
Yeah, okay.
From EASHL. From East San Jose, NHL 19, let's get it, Paul. And Aaron ever going to get the game? Wait, and is Aaron ever going to get the game before NHL 20 comes out? I have the game. I'm playing now.
Goose 19.
That's me.
That's him.
Yeah. He'd been playing with me the whole time. He had no idea. That's awesome. Sacramento, Sarah V. Sacramento, YouTube recommendation. Stevenson Yee. Oh, wait, we already read that one. Whoop. And you jumped on me. Joe is one too many.
Yes, he is.
Fairfield, watching the show win or lose. I just want the show to go on long. No, that's the guy's name. I just want the show to go on longer since this is the best San Jose Sharks thing to watch after the game.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Joe is one too many. Waffle
I thought
border.
that was the comment.
No,
the comment was
sorry.
Joe is one too many. Well, that's rude, man.
Waffle. Joe got really silent and quiet over there.
No, I'm enjoying. I've told you I fade out every once in a while. So.
Waffle Border, Anaheim, California. This is Brick Grenade from EASHL.
Nice.
Still laughing over Aaron leaving as we headed into overtime last night.
Okay.
Right, quick story.
Yeah, can I? Well, do you want to tell it then?
I was going to tell my side.
Go ahead, tell your side, yeah.
So last night we're playing, and we were playing this team that we thought was going to be really good because they were the EASHL All-Stars, and they're all prestige level.
It was
right.
It was 6 of them. 6 of them that were
Six
all
on
prestige 3,
Yeah.
level 50. Basically, they can't level up anymore.
So we were like, oh, man, we're going to get destroyed. So they went up 3-0 or 4-0. 4-0.
4-0.
Then we scored 5 straight goals to go up 5-4. Then they tied it very late, so we went to overtime. Overtime is about to start. It's like in between, and my daughter wakes up, and she's 9.5 months old, and she's starting to cry, and I'm like, oh no, go back to sleep, go back to sleep. She wouldn't go back to sleep, so I had to get up and get her and rock her back to sleep, and it only takes 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is about how long overtime is.
So before you're going to tell the part where you come back now, right?
Well, no.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm like, hey guys, my daughter's waking up. I gotta go, and I was the centerman too. So nobody's gonna be able to take face off. I just gotta put the controller down, and I didn't want to quit because I had 2 assists in that game, which is like amazing for me, and I didn't want to lose my stats because you lose them if you get a do not finish. So I just dropped the controller and go. And then,
so he drops the controller and goes, and I'm going, okay, he's got to go. That's fine. He'll just leave because he's not greedy and selfish. I've known you since kindergarten. Apparently, I don't know you that well. So basically, our centerman is just sitting there at center ice like a goof.
He's blocking shots.
No, he's not. He's not doing anything. If anything, he blocks some passes of ours. But so anyway, yeah, we.
Did I get an assist on the winning goal?
No, you did not.
Dang,
thankfully,
that would have been awesome.
No, so we're basically laughing about it, and we're playing D in our zone against this pristine team of like prestige 3 level 50s, and get the puck out. We move it up, and we're like, gosh, I hope there's not like a face off in their zone because then he's stuck in the zone. We can't get him out, right? So. Somehow the puck squirts out to the CPU, the only CPU player on our team,
in the
and he
game.
buries it.
He scored?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the CPU player
He was a
picked up the puck
defenseman.
and just buried it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. We
right.
were laughing so hard.
We're going to continue this now.
And of course, your player is just sitting there at center ice, just doing nothing.
Right. Okay, picking up where I left off. Jordan Marley, Stockton, California, watching at home with some IPA. Excellent. Elijah DR, Glendale, Arizona. Go Sharks.
Glendale, wow.
Sean Savage, watching from Arizona. Go Sharks. Go Bells. Go Bells. Blake Cloxel. How do you think Jones played tonight? Also, how do you feel he has played this series? I think he's played amazing this series.
Yeah.
And I think even tonight he played well. 926 save percentage, right?
They gave the stat the first, 4 games that he played, it was like horrible, like 5 point something goals against average and .8 something save percentage. And then you look at the last 6 or 7, not including tonight's game, but the last 7, because they were doing it during the broadcast. And his numbers were really, really good, like 2 something goals against average and well over 900 something save percentage. So, yeah, I mean, he's come back alive. He's come on. The same time, I want to go back to something that we had been saying about the defense playing in front of him and the defense playing better in front of him. If you know that Martin Jones is not an elite goaltender and you know that you don't want him taking breakaways and 2-on-1s, odd man rushes, and all these things, you need to learn to stop giving up breakaways, odd man rushes, 2-on-1s. So I think the Sharks have done a better job of that. I think Colorado is a lot faster, and they're going to exploit that a little bit more, so you might start seeing a couple more. Again, we saw, what's his name, Girard, split right up the middle there. We've seen, the McKinnon line with all of their speed kind of walking around us. So if we can get back to protecting that net and pushing them to the outside, I think we'll do even better. But outside of just playing better defensively, which I think the Sharks kind of have been doing, Martin Jones is just playing much better.
He's back to
much
playing
better in the
like
pipes.
his normal self in the playoffs, like we said he would be.
Yeah.
Right.
Real quick, thank you very much, Jesse Fulcher, for the $1 from Missoula, Montana.
Man, we have like 3 Montana fans, which is like half the population of Montana watching our show. It's fantastic. LL Cool J 10, Alameda, California, home of the Encinal Jets. Heard about the show from last September's Fan Fest. Oh, excellent.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. That was like one of our
Did you see the banner?
first
Is that why?
events. Yeah, probably. And Stevenson Yee, San Francisco, California. Fin Factor makes my body tingle.
There you go. It's going to be every single time we have a show. Yeah.
Nicholas Egan, San Diego, was looking for Sharks podcast. Karina Sarkari, watching from San Jose.
Very cool.
Blake Cloxel, also in LA, go Sharks. Keith, West San Jose, go Sharks, West Side. Ben Angunzri from Bangkok, Thailand, via the EK65 trade. Sharks fans since Owen Nolan, Timu Solani, and Nabby time.
Nice.
That's going way back. Ben, thanks for tuning in from Thailand. That's fantastic. Shoeshine, San Jose, watched at Avaya again tonight, hoping the same routine leading to the same result.
Shoeshine, that's one of the winners of our NHL 19.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Email us, shoeshine at thefinfactor@gmail.
No, we got it to him, didn't we?
He was the PS4 guy.
Yeah, he was the PS4
Oh,
the
guy.
Xbox
we did
guy.
get it to him.
Yeah.
You sure?
We gave it to him.
Nolan
Shoeshine, we gave it
Jackson.
to Shoeshine.
All right.
Nolan Jackson, I believe was the name.
Yes.
Real quick, a couple people just donated. Sean Savage, $1. Thank you very much. And then Jesse Fulcher, $1 more here. And then
Thank
Sean
you.
Savage, $1 more.
Oh, thank
Like
you.
we got an,
I kind of want.
Go Bells.
I think it'd be hilarious, by the way, for everybody who wants to give through the super chat. I think it'd be hilarious if we had like a time where we just said, "Okay, go," and then everybody
Ding,
just
ding,
did.
ding, ding.
Everybody just did $1. Just make it rain, like virtually, right? And just ching, 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 ching. I think that'd be hilarious.
Sure.
Hater.
Jason, thank you. Real quick, thank you very much again. People's talking about how professional we look. You're making them look great over there.
How professional
haven't crushed yet.
we
Yeah.
You know what?
look.
I wasn't gonna say anything because my foot is by the cable.
Jinxed
Well,
it.
Brett hasn't given us $50 yet, so let's just wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he said he's not gonna do that this series because he doesn't hate the. Hate
We
the
accept
abs.
10s and 20s too, Brett. Just letting you know.
A couple more. Josh R's from Salem, Oregon. I was disappointed in the game tonight. Pete DeBoer knew they would have stacked line and didn't seem prepared for it. It's over. It's Stevenson. We also need the Jones 6 story.
No.
Let's give it a break. Chickens 1-1 midway through the second. They're playing right now. That's Bone Thug.
Hey, nice. Hey, by the way, yeah, keep that up because I got a new color on the roof. Got some new color on the stairs. The railing's all different color now. Yeah.
Joseph Wee, Brisbane, Australia. Good day, mate.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Moving right along.
Jordan Marley, how can I join the squad on EasyEdit? We're actually full, so
Actually, we're not full. We have 17 in the club. A handful of them have 0 games played, but I'm giving them a bit of a pass because they were just joined less than like maybe 4 days ago. So search TFF as the abbreviation for the club. You can do this on Xbox One or on PS4. PS4 is us. Xbox One is actually a listener or a viewer, Patrick Cabral, who decided he was going to help us out and start a Fin Factor club for Xbox so that you guys can play there as well because we don't have Xbox. So yeah, either way, whichever platform, just search TFF and request to join. If it's on PS4, it'll be me, and I have the club on private now instead of public because not only was I getting lots of people that were joining, and I had to kick a bunch of people out, but our jerseys got hijacked, and this was the fix, was to make it private. So anyway, just go ahead and basically request it, and I will add you to it. Just please make sure that you play some games. Otherwise, I have to boot you for folks that are going to be more active. That's all. Okay?
Yep. All right. Just a lot of chatter in here. Sorry.
Real quick, LL Cool J 10. He did see the banner. Sweet above section 120-ish.
Yeah. That was it.
Let's see. By the way, I told Bone Thug that he wants me to put a more intimidating team name and logo. By the way, or a mascot.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I think we're limited on options.
Happily do that, but it requires you guys play so that I can unlock more stuff.
L Cool J that saw us at the Fan Fest did see the banner.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That's what he just said.
Sorry.
Somebody had a note back here. This series right now is reminding him the 2017 Edmonton series. Is that because of speed versus?
Probably because of McJesus playing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's McKinnon, McDavid,
McJesus. That's his nickname. That was my. I had McJesus on my fantasy team, so that was my team name.
If I recall, though, because Lucic was playing with Edmonton, so there's no big bruising force like that that I'm aware of, at least in Colorado. I know Matt Calvert's kind of like their guy, but I don't think anyone on the Sharks is intimidated by Matt Calvert. So I think that's kind of maybe the main difference there. But you're absolutely right. There's just a ton of speed for both of those teams, and of course both of them having top lines that are extremely potent, extremely deadly. But also another way to compare them too is that when they split up McDavid and Draisaitl, it's kind of like when they split McKinnon and I don't know if it was Rantanen that they put there or Landeskog.
Landeskog split them off.
Yeah, so when they split those guys up, they spread their talent out, but they're still pretty thin. Mm-hmm. Right. Otherwise, they stack their talent on one line, and I think in that way, it's absolutely very similar. Yeah.
I mean, again, going back to what we always said about this series is, if you shut down that top line, Colorado's probably not going to be able to muster much. And now, and someone had mentioned before, going into Game 5, it's going to be in San Jose, and they're going to get those matchups now. So we saw tonight where the fourth line got stuck out on icing calls. I think at least two times, and they put the top line up against them. Deep in the Shark zone, and I know at least once the Sharks won the faceoff, so they were able to get it out. But that's where you're going to see the big mismatch kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual numbers were for faceoffs, but I do know that it seemed like we kept winning them. So
what's that, faceoffs?
Yeah, faceoffs. I mean, that bodes well.
52-48.
Anytime you can start with the puck in either zone, anytime you can start with the puck. It was 50-48? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it seemed like we were winning them when we needed to win them.
Probably the important ones,
yeah.
Right?
We would win them, get a pass, and then lose the puck. And go chase it and be tired.
Yeah. But it's nice when you're starting with the puck regardless of which
It's
zone.
also without Pavelski, who's one of our better face-off guys. He takes off a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing to remember here. It's easy to kind of criticize and say, gosh, why aren't you doing, why aren't you playing better? It looks like they're giving up, or whatever the case may be. And again, we put up 0 goals. Well, we're also missing our leading goal scorer from the regular season. So, there's some things that, we can do better, yes, but there's also some guys that will make our team better once they get back and healthy.
I'm looking forward to, and I had said this the other day, I was like, even if Pavelski was ready to go in Game 4, I'm like, do you wait and put him on home ice and just get the crowd that much more into it? Mm-hmm. And I think overall, you wait until he's healthy. But somebody mentioned earlier, and I'm not going to scroll that far back up, they were like, Pavelski is a player. He's going to go whether he's 100% or not. As soon as they clear him to go, he's going to go.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. I just for head injuries, concussions and whatnot. I know they don't want to use the word,
Right.
but for head injuries, we'll just call it head injuries. I'm really wary about a player coming back sooner than he ought to. If you've banged up your leg and you got yourself rehabbed and you're ready to go and it's good enough, that's a little different. For a head injury, I would really hope that he makes sure that he's absolutely ready to go, ready to come back, not just good enough. Because the last thing you need to do is have another bump on your head and risk your career. I would rather see him come back when he's really ready to come back and really ready to do it. Who knows about Donskoy? I mean, Donskoy might be in the same boat. I think he's kind of got his head rocked too. So we'll see what happens with either of those guys. Frankly, either one of them back makes this team that much more deadly. I think, again, being able to take Rodil out of the top 9 and putting him into the energy line, I mean, for me, that's having Rodil on the energy line is great because, I mean, he's one of those big bodies.
Yeah.
He is, absolutely.
And he's a good possession guy.
Yeah.
So he could get that puck down low and feed it out to somebody in front. Carlson.
100%. Yeah, I just don't know that he really belongs on one of those scoring lines right now.
How about Gaudreau's dangles tonight?
Oh,
man?
Sick.
I was like, wow, this is his 4th line guy with the dangles. That's impressive.
Who's that 4th line guy? He's the guy who had the overtime winner in Game 7.
Yeah, so I think he's looking pretty good for me.
Yeah.
People were asking about Rodil. You just talked about him. Random question. Jesse Fulcher, do you or either of you guys play in a beer league? You used to, up until like a week ago.
So I did. And I was the captain of a beer league team, not because of my skill, because I have none, but because I was the only guy that was willing to take money from people because it sucks.
It's the worst.
Yeah. But no, I did. And when I say I did, I basically stopped as of a few weeks ago. So yeah, no, and it's a ton of fun if you've been playing it or you've considered playing it or whatever. You know exactly what it's all about. It's just a great time out with guys that are just interested in playing the sport, and it gets really competitive sometimes. For as bad as we are, but it's just a ton of fun.
Talk about the Timo Meier hit on Landeskog. Did you see that? Landeskog, to me, it looked like Landeskog was going in for the hit, and Meier just trucked him.
He was in the corner, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Along the boards, they were coming at each other.
Yeah.
Right up against the corner of the boards, and Meier just ran him over. That's a hit that Landeskog's going to feel for a couple days.
Invest, right?
Right,
Invest.
exactly.
And that's what I want these guys to do, not just to McKinnon or to Landeskog or to the big name guy. I'm saying do it to the young guys on their team. Get in their heads. Bang them up so that they think twice about trying to carry that puck, so that they think twice about when they dig the puck out of a corner, am I going to get slammed, right? Make them a little less confident. Make them worry a bit. And I don't see enough of that. I'm not seeing our guys going after their young defensemen, and I'd love to see more of it. And again, I'm not asking for an injury here. The last thing I want is anybody to get injured unless it's John Gibson, in which I called it.
Yeah.
Okay, but for the other guys, the young guys on that team, and there are a lot of young guys on that team, hit them. Hit them.
Those 20-year-old, two 20-year-old defensemen on that team.
I guarantee you start slamming the body on Girard, he thinks twice about splitting the D right there, right?
Right.
So, or maybe he doesn't have the legs anymore because you've worn him down to be able to split the D right there.
I mean, Couture talked about putting pressure on their defensemen, and that they can't really handle when they're forechecking well. When the Sharks are forechecking well, they can't handle it. And that's what we saw in Game 3. That's how Couture scored that goal. Is they got a turnover on the forecheck, and Couture got the puck up down low. So I think you're going to see the Sharks come back in Game 5 doing that. They're going to have their legs under them and their lungs back. I think they're going to come out firing all cylinders.
Real quick, I know we were talking about just the shorter shifts, or at least trying to get shorter shifts.
Yeah.
One thing that's not going to make your shift shorter is not being able to clear the puck.
Yes.
And even throughout the season, I'm sitting there watching a game, and I'm like, we're about to lose. We're about to get a goal scored on us because we didn't clear the puck 3 times when we should have. And it's just like you got to make a clean pass.
Yeah, you can feel it coming, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh man, they just cannot get it out.
Well, and Burns and Todd had talked about it in some article where he's like, there are times where I'm supposed to be, there are times where I'm supposed to be going for the single, and I'm always going for the home run pass, and they're telling me about it, and it's like, he wants to make a difference, right? But in trying to force yourself to make a difference, sometimes you make the mistake instead. And we've seen a few of these long passes where Burns is making the wrong play there, and it gets picked off and it goes the other way. Sometimes it ends up in the back of your net, sometimes it doesn't. And that's, again, that risk reward. I saw somebody had, it was like a tweet I think somebody put out saying, why do we even have Burns? And it's like, well, because you forget he was the leading point getter on the team. Yeah, sometimes he's going to have a turnover and it's going to end up in the back of your net, but he also generates a lot more offense than maybe we give him credit for. But, we tend to see the things that we don't like more so, right? And we tend to see that he's giving the puck away.
I was going to say, and that goes to the announcers, too, because this is something Aaron brought up, too, or maybe you were talking before. We're sitting here, and we're hearing McKinnon, Grubauer, McKinnon, Grubauer, McKinnon. And I'm sure they're saying other words, but that's all I'm hearing, and it's probably because I'm sensitive to, are these guys only going to talk about the Avs?
Yeah. Right.
But like you mentioned, they've had sustained pressure for like the last 5 minutes, and we as Sharks fans are also just hearing them, and we're like, where's our mentions?
No, exactly, yeah. And while I would love to have Randy, because I do honestly feel that Randy's pretty unbiased, and that Randy can call a game, where it's good. Sharks and the Kings, and he's done that before, where he's called that game for a national broadcast, and it didn't seem very biased. But again, maybe that's because it's my San Jose Shark ears that are hearing it, probably. So who knows?
People hate the broadcast when it's the national feed, but you have to think about the national broadcasters don't see these guys as often as Randy or, oh my God, Dan,
yeah.
right? Like, so they know those guys inside out. They especially know the Pacific Division very well. And then within the conference, they know those much better than the national guys. So they don't get to spend as much time. They're so used to seeing the Sharks jerseys and numbers and being able to tell who's who. When the national guy it's always a different team just about every night, right? And some of those jerseys, they have different fonts and different whatever. It's hard to really see. Sometimes 8s and 6s look very similar, and you mess it up because you're not used to watching the team. So it's very difficult for both. And if you look at both teams' fans, they both say, oh, they hate, the national broadcast is for the other team. They both say that. That just means they're doing their job, right?
Yeah,
so they're not really biased either way.
I was gonna say, if Nathaniel Arias is on here, he could chime in. Did you think there was more talk about Colorado or Sharks? Because he might hear the opposite.
Well, anybody
he might say,
who's
they're always
listening
talking
right
about the
now,
Sharks,
right? Anybody who's listening right now that's a Colorado fan, feel free to chime in the comments and let us know if you felt that it was fairly unbiased, if you felt that they were leaning more towards the Sharks, or if you happen to hear that it was them leaning more towards Colorado. We're just interested in your take on it so that we kind of get that perspective as well.
Chickens lose in overtime. So sad. Single tier.
Chickens laid an egg. No, they did. They just got a goal.
Got a point.
They got a goal.
What?
Well, it was like 1-1, they said.
It was 3-2 in overtime, I think.
3-2 OT. That's cool. Hey, man, like I said, I'm just gathering points so I can build my Barbie Funhouse Arena. That's all I'm going for.
Jason Hillier, I love the national broadcasters. Doc Emmerich and John Forsland have the best voices. Pierre and Brian Boucher are legends inside the glass. I'm not a big Pierre fan.
Yeah.
I rag on him a little bit, and I respect what he does. I just think he's the kind of guy that tries to bestow his knowledge and show that he's smarter than he is, kind of thing, where he has these run-on sentences and tells you exactly, it's not just Nathan MacKinnon. It's Nathan MacKinnon from so-and-so who played here and there, and then he did this in the game. It's like, just say it was Nathan MacKinnon who did this in the game. Like, you don't need this whole background. I don't care where he played before.
Rusanowski does that too, right?
No, not so much. Not even little tidbits, like little bits of knowledge every now and then. But in one sentence, it's like Pierre only gets so much airtime because he's down low. He's always on the ice. And so they go to Pierre for here, you got 5 seconds. And so he's just trying to throw, 20 pounds of poop in a 5-pound bag.
And I feel like Dan Rusanowski is just a walking encyclopedia, and I don't think he tries to do that. I think he just does it. I think he just has so much information and it just comes out sometimes.
He's a little more charismatic, though.
Yeah,
I think, and
I think it's more natural when it comes out of right.
Pierre is just like da, 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 and it's like, what did you just say? Like, I can't even compute what you just said in my head. I don't know. Pierre's just annoying. To each
their own. Whoever made the comment enjoys it. So
to me, he just doesn't add as much to the broadcast.
Well, and Nathaniel did chime in and said felt like it was actually more heavy for Colorado towards the end of the game, but like that's saying it was sustained pressure. But
and
beginning it was more Sharks.
3-0, or they won 3-0.
Joe is one too many. So I'm out of here. No, wait. Joe's one too many. Hurdle, I think this must be after the game's quotes. Hurdle saying, Jonesy can't do everything. And Eric Carlson says, he gave us a chance today, kept us in the game. Unfortunately, we couldn't capitalize on the chances that we got. That's all she wrote.
Sounds like something we just said, right? Jones is doing a really good job. He's keeping him in. And again, you cannot win a game unless you put a goal on the board.
They'd still be going right now. If Jones had kept them in, they'd
Yeah.
still be going.
So
right?
and again, for me, the whole strategy ought to be, okay, let's protect Jones as best we can, right? Now he stepped up and he played a great game. But usually I would say let's surround him, right? Let's do a good job of keeping the pucks to the outside. Let's push it out. Make the get the turnover as best we can from the defensive zone, right? Get the puck back from the defensive zone, possess it there. Then let the offense take care of itself, right? You have enough offensive weapons. You have your leading scorer in Joe Pavelski out, and you have one of the guy who normally plays in your top 9 in Jonas Donskoy who's out, and you're filling him in with Lukasz Radil in your top 9. That top 9 is still ridiculously dirty, right? The offense can and will take care of itself. You just need to have possession of it. And I don't think that the Sharks did a good job of, first of all, gaining possession and then retaining possession of the puck. Like, it seemed like they were dumping a lot more than they should have.
Yeah.
It seemed like when they were coming across the line, it was like a one and done. They get a shot and that was it, right? It didn't really feel like we had sustained pressure at many points in the game.
They're
and
tired.
It felt like,
They're
yeah,
tired.
they were tired. But I mean, so that's what it comes down to,
Yeah.
right? So get your legs, get your lungs back and ready to go. But let that be your game plan when you are back and ready to play 100%. Let that be your game plan. Get the puck in the defensive zone, take care of it there, and let the offense just take care of itself because you have too much talent for the offense not to take care of itself, right?
Thank you, Manny Marquez, $1.99. Which jersey am I repping on Saturday? 88, 19, 8, or 48? Burns, Thornton, Pavelski.
I gotta
Hurdle.
go 48. I gotta go Hurdle.
I was gonna say Hurdle.
Yeah.
I think Hurdle needs to both step up, and I know that he can step up. I think he needs to go back. Remember how he was playing in Vegas? He was just dominating, circling the puck, possessing. He kind of looked like Yager.
Yeah.
But he also reminds me of Patrick Kane when Patrick Kane circles around and around and around, and they cannot get the puck away from him, and then they either take a penalty or he scores.
Yeah.
To me, that's what Hurdle's game is kind of evolved into.
Yeah.
And I think he can take over a game, and I think that's what he needs to do.
Well, I think Hurdle's built for those heavier guys, right? So like against Vegas, right? You've got a Vegas squad that's kind of trying to lean on him, and they can't because he's just a big body. He's so strong. He protects the puck so well. But then you've got a team like Colorado who's a little bit more tenacious, scrappy almost. They're like quick little chihuahuas. They're kind of coming after him, and I don't know if that's plays into his style of play as well as say like Vegas does, right? I don't know. They might be beating him to little areas where he's trying to maneuver and being able to pick the puck off of him. I'm not really sure, but
on offense, if they're beating him places on offense, park in front of the net, getting Grubauer's eyes.
Yeah, no, and again, that's kind of one of those keys, for any goaltender if you want to beat them is, make them move, get them going side to side, because they're not set on their angles, and you also want to get in their eyes because anytime you cover your eyes and try to catch anything, you're probably going to drop it, right? So it's just a good idea. Yeah, just a good idea. Get in front of their eyes all the time, and I don't like seeing that these shots that come from the point, and our guys are standing off to the side trying to get a tip in there, right? Unless you're Joe Pavelski.
Right.
I think the odds are more in your favor if you're not standing up to the side, if you're standing more in front of, right? Let that shot kind of go by you. Please don't let it hit you in the jaw, but let that puck go by you. Play bad goalie, I think is what they say, right? So just kind of stand there, get in his eyes, let it go through.
Real quick, so Joe's one too many. Throwing a couple more quotes here from Couture. We turned way too many pucks over, handed them goals off of turnovers, and then it scrolled. Handed them goals off turnovers inside our blue line, just bad decisions. You can't turn it over You can't turn it over to that speed.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So and that's where it comes up. What I'm saying is like get the puck, possess the puck, move that puck up through that neutral zone.
Yeah.
If you're going to lose it, you need to lose it in their end. You don't want to lose it in the neutral zone. You certainly don't want to lose it in your end because you're probably going to be flat-footed and they've got speed. It's the last thing you need.
Yeah.
So we saw this tonight too, where we turned the puck over in the neutral zone, and McKinnon, I think it was, just walked right past everyone. So that's got to be the game plan: is get possession of the puck, retain possession of the puck all the way through the neutral zone. And if you are going to lose it, you got to lose it in their end.
I got a quote here from Pete DeBoer through Twitter from Shangpeng.
Okay.
Let's be honest. I don't think anyone was thinking that we were going to come here and sweep both games. We had a chance halfway to through the game. We just didn't get it done. I agree. I think Jones kept them in the game, and they had a chance to come back all the way up until I'd say the last 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
It was still 2-0, and if they buried one there, I think they would have had a good chance to possibly tie it and go to overtime. And another tweet from Zinksy. He's not joining us tonight on YouTube, but he said, won't be there. I usually comment about the games, but I'm not there, so I think the Sharks always tried shooting too high, basically, and power play was okay but not good. And that's all.
Though I'll disagree with the power play in the third because they had 1:41, and I think they got 0 zone entries. Listening to on the radio, and they were just like, I was like, what did they just wanted an extra 2 minutes of rest? What are they doing?
Yeah, sometimes it's just it's ugly, and this is one of the things that I've complained about the Sharks in years past. Not so much this season, but in years past, where we, and you know this too, because I know I've talked to you about it a bunch of times, Joe. Is it's impossible for them, get across this blue line. What's going on? And with the addition of Erik Karlsson this season, my goodness, it's those zone entries have been much better, way better than I've ever seen them. But yeah, tonight, especially in that third period, the power play you're talking about, that 1:40, it just seemed like they just couldn't get anything done there. I'd like to see, again, we've talked about this before, I'd like to see the trigger man. I'd like to see Brent Burns on the left wing boards, have Karlsson play up top on the point, or Couture on the top there controlling it, and just feed those one-timers off to Brent Burns and let him just pump them in. If you get a body in front of Grubauer there, I think one of those is going to go in, or it's at least going to create a whole bunch of havoc, and you're going to have a pretty good opportunity to put the puck in the net. So I'd like to see that. I know that's not what they're going to do. They've ran this power play this way all season. There's really no reason for them to say, you know what, let's change it all up, right? Stick to the game plan. I get that. So I don't see that happening, but gosh, it would, for me, I think you would have a lot more opportunities and probably some goals tonight, as opposed to throwing up the goose egg. If we had a power play that featured somebody bombing the net, not just wristing it in from the point, which Brent Burns' wrister from the point is deadly. Don't get me wrong, but when you've got the goaltender moving, right, you got that cross crease pass, or not cross crease, but cross ice pass, and Burns is one timing it. That's a little bit harder for a goaltender to stop.
Yeah, there was a couple. I think it was Karlsson was just like wind up slap shot super hard, and it was like Grubauer's already sitting there waiting for it. No one in the lane at all.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Sharks just weren't moving their legs. You could tell they were tired. Ben Angunsri, and I just lost it. Feeling we can only lose this series if we beat ourselves. I agree, and I think at this point the Sharks. Yeah, we said that in the episode 46. Yeah, 46. It was our series preview. That was one of the Paul's.
It was the
Paul's
series
points.
wrap up for the Vegas Golden Knights series, and then the preview for this Colorado series. And I had said I feel like the only way that we lose is when we beat ourselves.
Yeah.
The biggest hurdle is ourselves, and you're absolutely right. And a part of that is the fatigue factor, right?
I think at this point in the playoffs, all the teams that are left, I feel it the same way. The Sharks are going to beat themselves more than the other teams are going to beat them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. That's the way I see it. There's a couple teams out there that I think we could just roll over should we go up against them. But a lot of these other teams, like if we were to face St. Louis or if we were to face Dallas, or obviously with Colorado right now, I think a lot of it is just us being exhausted, us not playing with clear heads, trying to force things where we don't really need to, not really taking care of possessing the puck from the defensive end and then moving out from there. I think that there's just a whole lot of other things going on, and it's the Sharks beating themselves.
Yep. Just real quick, I put the link up for our show if you want to support the show. We are selling T-shirts. There's black, gray, teal, and black deep V neck for women, and hats and stickers.
There you go.
Got it all.
Nice.
Got it on there.
We also finally got a picture, or two actually, of folks that had purchased some gear.
Right.
Who was it? Jens?
Jens from Sweden.
Yes.
He sent us a picture today through Instagram, and I'd put it out through the story.
Yeah.
So you can see it. And do you have it up, Jay, or no?
He was rocking his black Fin Factor shirt with the sticker. Who signed the sticker for him?
Evander Kane.
Evander Kane signed sticker. So we
all
were,
the way to Sweden.
We were giving out some of those signed stickers for a while there. I think we might have ran out. We might have a few guys that were playing with the Sharks at one point, like Rourke Chartier, Dylan Gambrell, those types of folks. But the rest of them have all gone. Futures. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Cool.
Which we will still add those in for any of the orders, I think, right?
Yeah, we'll throw those in. Whatever we have left, we'll get them out. So if you want to get an order in. And it's also 10% off with the coupon code of playoff mode, one word. So feel free to go on thefinfactor.com and purchase some stuff.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for everybody who's donating through the Super Chat, thank you so much. If you want to get something out of it, though, yeah, just head over to the store and pick up a T-shirt. That'd be great.
Multiple requests for polos,
These?
I know. These are really popular.
Yeah.
They look good. They look slick.
No, they're nice.
You guys don't do
They're
anything for
embroidered
them,
too.
but
It's not like
I bet on the right person they would look great.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Not me.
Yeah,
Not me,
yeah.
we need some merch for the EASHL team.
Oh, should we do like the chickens?
Chicken jersey. Make those in real life.
How about the Ducks?
Put
the
it
Ducks
on the
one?
set. Maybe we'll do that.
That'd be
Maybe we'll
sick.
get like a set jersey, like a design for the game,
Okay.
and then we get it made in real life.
Mhm.
Then that's like what we have in the background of our show
And
for next season.
And then ask EA Sports to make that jersey in the game.
no, then we make it again.
Oh, okay.
No. Using the stuff that like the chicken.
Okay.
Like the chicken thing, right? We keep that all the time.
I was
Make
gonna
something
say-
that's permanent.
I was gonna say make a Fin Factor jersey,
Oh, that'd
and
be
then
cool.
ask EA Sports to put it in the game, and have them say no.
They'd say, who?
Anyway, yeah, I don't know if there's any more comments or questions, anything to.
We need
Bring it up.
Fin Factor branded dad shoes. Looks at Paul, Jason Hillier.
Do you guys think, real quick for different series here, do you guys think the Canes are going to sweep?
No.
Yeah.
No
I
one
do.
yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think, no. I think it'll probably be 5 or 6 games.
Are all the other series 2-2?
2-2.
So everybody except the Canes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
Not me.
Anyone's
Nobody.
bracket think that?
I remember when somebody asked
Nobody.
about how I felt about the Washington and Carolina when it was round 1, and they're saying who do you go with on that one? I said my gut tells me Washington, and I probably end up going with my gut here, but I mean the fact that Carolina's even in the conversation right now and not getting obliterated tells you something about the parity in the league, the heart on that team, how hard they work, their hustle, their buy-in.
You know what else is going to mean?
What's that?
Teams are going to copy them next year because they're the advanced stats
Yeah.
kings.
Yeah. So
All season.
everyone's going to be doing celebrations after they win.
Well, no. My point is their style of play. You kind of
Yeah.
see copycats of who
Sure.
either wins or goes far in the
Yeah,
playoffs,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm totally fine with because I like the way they play. It's more offensive. It's less. I hate the slowing down, like the big body teams like LA and Anaheim when
Sure.
they won. I hate when they won because
Well-
teams followed that.
Well, look at
It's
LA and
boring.
Anaheim now.
Well, yeah, and I'm happy
Yeah.
because they're so far down. I have to scroll to find them on the standings at the end of the season. It's fantastic.
I was listening to, I think it was the hockey guy maybe talking about, and he's like, as soon as he heard, was it Don Cherry call him the bunch of jerks? He's like, oh, that right there just kind of basically,
Yeah.
you hear something. It's like the other day when I heard like, oh, you don't call a penalty. There's only 17 seconds left, and they're not going to, it's just stat padding. I'm like,
Right.
okay, they're going to get a goal, and they did.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything for the game, but he's like, I heard Don Cherry say that, and he's like, here they go. Their names are gonna be out there for a long time
Yeah.
now because they said that.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a lot of calls for Fin Factor jerseys. You guys want to get those? Put them in stock and.
So I mean, again, for hoodies or jerseys or anything
What
else.
we
Season
could do
2.
for future orders, what we could do for something specialized like that, or
Okay.
maybe a polo or something, we could do pre-orders.
That's what
So
I'm
then
saying.
we know how much we have to order.
I will happily give you guys like a pre-order that you can. And again, it's I
What
don't
is
know
that,
when.
like almost $100 for a jersey, for a custom jersey,
No, you can get them a lot
Yeah?
cheaper. You could, yeah.
like a nice one
Well,
with a
because
big old
there's no
patch.
NHL branding. It's you
No,
guys.
it wouldn't be like a sewn-on patch or anything. That would be like fully sublimated, right?
See, no.
Yeah.
I want a jersey.
Well, then you're gonna have to pay for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be expensive. But no, I mean, for something like that, we can certainly do like a hoodie or a jersey or dad shoes, I guess. But we would have to do pre-orders for it. And unfortunately, with a pre-order, it's like you can order it, but then it might take a really long time because we're still gathering pre-orders for it to have a certain amount of those orders for it to cost a certain amount that's cheap enough. And yeah, I just, it's a lot that goes into it, and I don't know if you guys are willing to wait is the only problem. So, I mean, yeah, we could totally do it. It's just, I don't know if you guys are willing to do the pre-order thing or not. So we'll look into it. Yeah.
Someone just asked me how my bracket is doing. I actually have the Sharks and Boston in the finals, and it's the only 2 teams I really have left in my bracket. So if it happens, I'm going to score some major points, and if either team is bounced, I am dead in the water. So,
Well, Boston did beat Bobrovsky today.
They did. They tied it up 2-2.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that.
Notice I didn't say CBJ.
Yeah. I did have the Islanders beating Pittsburgh, though, so that's the other team I have left. And I had St. Louis beating Winnipeg, but I had Nashville beating them in this round, so I'm kind of dead in the water a little bit. So, yeah, not quite out of it completely, but pretty close. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to that time of the night again.
Yeah, I think it's time to go. John Doe might have a hookup for merch, depending on who you're currently working with. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
Is there a way for him to reach out to us?
No, you can email us.
Email?
thefinfactor@gmail.com.
There you go.
Yep. All right, I think we're going to call it. So, anything else you want to add?
No?
All right, then.
Hold on.
Cool.
Hold
So
on. I want to
you
find
got
out where Mavid Diller is from.
Who?
They asked if there was a roll call yet. Mavid Diller, let us know where we're from. We can end on that.
Oh,
Sure.
no. We did roll call. So,
Your show rules from Mr. Sandpaper. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. If you have not already, please subscribe.
Yeah.
You
Click
can
like,
also,
subscribe, etc., etc.
Yeah, you can also follow us on Facebook,
Twitter. At the Fin Factor.
The Fin Factor.
Instagram is at Fin Factor. We're also on Reddit.
Right, we have our own Reddit subreddit of the Fin Factor.
Right.
And if any of you are in the Sharks Reddit, please feel free to cross-post ours in so that I don't do it and spam the heck out of them. Be like, hey, look, I found this. Or you don't even have to cross-post. You could just post this show in there. That'd be great. And give us a thumbs up. And are you going to be playing tonight?
I will probably jump on briefly. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll probably jump on briefly.
I will not be. I'm going to bed.
Wow.
I'm tired.
Yeah. By the way, Mavid is from Newcastle, England.
Newcastle,
Nice.
hey, way to join us.
That's awesome.
Have a new
I will.
ground.
I will try to jump on if my kids are asleep when I get home, and
Yep.
then you can.
There you go.
But that's not like a benefit to anybody.
It's really not.
Eric Ward is playing the Sixes. Join him.
Nice. Cool. We'll do. Well, I'll take a look and then probably pop in there. So,
Yep.
gosh, I mean, again, guys, everybody who helped us out monetarily with the super chat, we really do appreciate everything you guys are doing for us. It does help the show. It helps us run this. You notice that the stream didn't go down. I think we finally got enough money that we can keep the stream alive.
Put
We've
another
upgraded
nickel in it.
Comcast.
Hamsters are still running the
Yeah.
They're still running in the wheels. Yeah, we fed them. So, again, thank you for that. And just even if you didn't donate anything monetarily, if just being in the chat with us, giving us your comments, your questions, having this conversation, we love it. This is basically what the show is all about. It's just a conversation amongst friends.
Yep.
So we really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. So for Super Producer Jason, for Super Key Grip Joe, I am Paul.
And I'm Aaron.
And we will see you guys
Saturday.
Saturday. Bye-bye.
Bye.